Very good evening to all our viewers. Welcome back to this fascinating avenue where the proceedings shall be underway in couple of minutes. The news from the centre, Patiala Shahi Cricket Association did not win the toss. Sonu Battalion is elected to bat first. Dilrup Ghumman, the captain himself, again in the shoes, leading the proceedings. Straight onto the pads, short mid-wicket, conventional delivery of a dot. Couple of changes here in the team. Gyan, prolific all-rounder, making his comeback in the team. Charanjit and Yashwan, the opening pair. Straight on to the pads, on the money. This will be a comeback match after a crushing defeat for Patiala Shahi Cricket Association, the club who's been playing this match here at this is one of the big grounds and home venue for Patiala. A full toss, that's a gift. That's a gift. He could have hit anywhere in the ground, and he's managed to pull that off with his beautiful, handsome wrists. Four handsome runs for Yashwant. He's off the mark in fashion. There's no better way to start your innings off a boundary that boosts your confidence immensely. One slip in position. I reckon this should be blessing in disguise for Patiala Shahi Cricket Club because last time, if we have a comparison of the last game and this game, they've elected to bat first, and every time winning the toss, they've been electing to bat first. Good ball, good delivery, right on the money, and he's left it well, watching the ball till the end. This is important. I reckon Dilroop, after that delivery, when after being smacked for 4 runs, he would be wanting to have a comeback here. And his rhythm will be very important for the team. The rhythm and the tempo, what he'll be setting. No better conditions here for cricket. It's windy, chilly, and soon it's going to be freezing. Will be very difficult. The sun is out, but yet very volatile. Weather is quite volatile here in this country. Becomes difficult to predict. And in this unpredictable situation, our viewers can still play dances down the ground. This is a very good intent from Yashwant. We haven't seen someone in the early stage of the match coming down the track to make runs. If he's coming down the track and if this has been his usual intent and his mindset, this is a very positive sign and a very positive note for Sonu Battalion to start on. And talking about whimsicalness, unpredictability, we would want you to predict, what do you reckon the winner of this game would be? Will Patiala Shahi Cricket Club be able to redeem and bounce back after that crushing defeat, or it's going to be Sonu Battalion powering over Patiala Shahi Cricket Club? One over, and the score is 6. Last match, the bowlers were slightly off of their usual momentum and the rhythm. One slip still in position. The slip cauldron isn't empty. We've got a gully, backward point. Dilrup, the captain, who's stationed short cover, mid on, mid off, square leg, and a third man. Simarjeet, the pacer, comes down, dangles The keeper misses. The batsman misses as well. Away. This was the same start in the very second over. We are going to reflect a lot of learnings for the Patiala Shahi Cricket Club here and how things, the events which took place in the last game, where they could not pick onto the spoils of the war, spoils of the game that could have resulted them to magnify and optimally result. This time flashes his blade, fielder coming in, making no mistake. Reluctant, his positive intent has come to an end. He could not connect it well. There you can see on your screen, wide. If he could have let it, would have an extra run, but wanted to hit the ball and has landed. Good catch, good running catch for the fielder at mid on. And Patiala Shahi Cricket Club comes to party. Apologies to our viewers if you find any turbulence in the telecast, and if you're facing any issues with the sound recording, it's because of the gust of wind. We'd really like to get your inputs, your insights of this game. What do you reckon about the winner for this game? This is an this is a good start. Early fall of wicket is a good mark in the game to build your confidence and to prey on to pick up and accelerate your innings. They want to put some pressure on. Vaibhav is the other newcomer to the squad. The little change, the subtle change, what they've made here. Simarjeet starts again, tries to cut. They've got the third man inside the circle after that one wicket. This is what happens. You go more aggressive after the fall of wicket when you know that your team and the bowler's been delivering to the mark and creates more room for creativity, aggressiveness. Full toss right onto the bat. The square comes in. Easy running. The throw being on point would have resulted the batsman walking and running straight back to the dugout in the same direction. Timmer would want to utilize his height being the X factor. We haven't seen any hostile deliveries coming here. Being one of the speedsters, right on the money, right between the stumps, not easy. The point where he releases his ball, you see him, he's a tall guy jumping the jump, he coming forward, landing right on the foot, maintaining good body balance and the right area, right accuracy. There you go, has had to hop on, cries of weight, straight to the fielder at point, resulting no run. Again, a good over, resulting with one wicket. 9 runs on the board, 2 overs completed, one wicket down. That's Yashwant. Dilroop, as a captain, would want to strike on. An early strike in the game will inflate his confidence, also team's morale. He's been enthusiastic, who's been vibrant color for this team. Every time the team's been in dark phases, he's been with a stone to guide. Ah, this is a quick, very good keeping. Excellent stuff from Jannat. Exactly as a kingfisher fishing from the pond, he's leapt and pounced. Excellent delivery. If it would have been right on the off third and fourth stump appeals, no conviction and from the bowler or the keeper. Good change of pace. Reminds me of Malcolm Marshall, who was short in his run up, but quick. Exactly. Ball nipping back slightly in the air. He hasn't got fastest of the run up. Nicely scooped. Gyan chasing the ball. Excellent effort as an all rounder. He's been prolific to the team with his contribution. Every run counts. They haven't had a bad game. If we actually have a flashback, if we put the light upon the facts of the previous game, the only reason why I've been going back and forth is because of the toss factor. They would have wanted to field first because of the condition what they faced. Early fall, right on the money. Again, the throw was astray onto the stumps. Any backup or the bowler, it's difficult for the bowler to come for a backup after the follow through. Slashes, good slash, will creep into the boundary. No, the gun fielder. He's having a demise of his luck from previous game. We've seen Bhagwan dropping a sitter and now ball creeping into the boundary for 4 more runs. No effort, not the typical fielding effort or the sight on his ball, what you would expect him to have. Good flash. Has just opened the face of the bat, full blade, resulting 4 runs. His bowled shot onto the back foot, nudges it to third man. Dilroop's economy going slightly expensive. He's costed for 16 runs. Would want to strike, being the strike bowler of the team. Just 1 wicket away, full toss. That's a gift and right into the hands of the fielder. Can you expect? And that agony is to be expected from the batsman. And Dilrup would be very happy. He knows that isn't an extraordinary delivery, but he set the batsman up exactly what he's wanted. A lower full toss, he wanted him to flick off his wrists and landed right into the pouch of the short mid wicket. This is what we've been talking about being slightly expensive. He would have wanted to strike, and he has done that again. 2 early wickets in 2 overs. Second and third being the overs, and team regrouping, conflating. 3 overs completed, and the score is 19 on the loss of 2 wickets. Simarji, the man who's opened the gates of wickets, comes in. His ball at nice, slashed on. Simmer's got pace. The pace from his delivery will help the ball reach fence, but the extra amount of grass, the outfield being slow on certain areas, will help the fielders. Is going to be a friend of the fielders and the bowling team here. The fielders are going to befriend the outfield. We were discussing about the toss, what toss had resulted in this game and previous game. Nick said, straight to the slip cauldron. 3 wickets down, and Patiala Shahi right on the money, living up to the theme of the team this year, redemption. They are redeeming themselves. On spot. There you go. Third and fourth stump. Wanted the batsman to drive. Goes on a flashy drive. Wanted to slog him on. And Simmer has the last laugh. This is going to be really difficult. Really difficult to pile on the total if the wickets are going to fall in quick succession and they're going to bundle the game very soon. This team, Patiala Shahi Cricket Club, knows to optimally utilize their strengths to their full potential. This team has been performing fascinatingly, and this team has been poetry in motion. If they've collaborated well, if they've brought everyone chipping in, bringing their strengths together, pulling in. Amazing to see Dilroop marshalling the troop. Has always been boisterous on the field, cheering up the lads. Has never been a dull moment when he's been a captain around him. Bad game for a player. Right on the pads will be a long chase for Dilroop. Will he be able to cut the ball out? 100% effort from him. He hasn't let away the away his conviction. His effort was on full. Eventually, the ball stopped. He saved 1 run, what we can say. If there was no commitment, would have been 3 runs. Talk about commitment and dedication. This club has been encompassed with all of those factors, telling about dedication, commitment, will, zeal, all those factors. If you add in the right blend and the right mixture, has been a key figure. Jimmy Sharma bringing everything together has been one of the prominent figures who's established this club. The management has been extremely well performing here. You know that the management doing well. What an amazing delivery! Right on the spot, right on the money. Fourth and fifth stump. Talking about management, plays a critical role here. Seldom we talk about management. Good wear leave. Exercise for the umpire to stretch his arms in this cold climate. Tell them we talk about team management, the way the team is managed. My apologies, the team's regulated, the team's tuned. The reason why we say the management plays one of the important roles in shaping players is because when the players start feeling comfortable in the management, the way the management's been handling them, managing them, the type of workload each player sharing, and defining each player's role, that's how the management functions. And those areas that define management, how well the management is doing off the books, on the books, that is represented by the players on the field. The only reason we say we bring out this topic is because recently there's been a spark on the social media of the international players talking about how irresponsible or how rigid the atmosphere in the dressing room becomes for the successful franchises. So the only reason to highlight this here is that Patiala Shahi Cricket Club, being one of the champion sides, being in been in the position, winning momentum. They've always made sure players feel that, and talking one on one to the players as well. Their team huddle up. Everyone feels that they're home, and this has been one of the key aspects that the players perform up to their potential. And the only reason this team is being again has he nicked it? How has he survived that delivery? That's a jaffer. What a good comeback Dilroop is having here. Right into the keeper's pouch, and Dilroop would be wondering with that bright smile and grin on his face, how has he managed to survive that delivery? Absolute ripper. Shot run up, his quick between the stumps. Jan Jannat definitely deserves a high praise because the way he's been wicket keeping behind those stumps, he's been one of those keepers that has been overshadowed by the fielding efforts apart from wicket keeping. I reckon the way he's been latching the ball, coming onto the ball, his proactiveness that defines how well and crucial the role of a keeper is. He slashes, cries of catches, the sun has blinded him, and the sun god has given him life. The fielder wasn't on the ball, and lucky side for the batsman, for Kamaljeet, that he survived that delivery. It, somewhere, if it was slightly dark or the sun had come down, was not blinding him, would have been in his, the ball would have been in his pocket, right on the money, drives it, and inert effort shouldn't have been one. The end result is one. We've been talking about management, franchises, and virtues, values, and themes of the team. I reckon any big organization who's been doing successful, or any team in the history of sports which has been performing well, which has signified their mark and has shown the world a new path, has shown the way the sports have been performing. Every team has had a theme. The way they've performed, they have demonstrated, they've exhibited why are they performing, how are they performing, and are they living up to the expectation, why have been they performing. And everyone has a motto, and a team without motto, a player without a motto is futile, is someone who's running in the tunnel with full of darkness. And interestingly, talking about theme, Patiala Shahi Cricket Club has their theme this year as redemption. Very interesting. Talking about this theme as redemption, being redeemed again. The only reason why we talk about redemption, slashes, flash of blade, it's not thunder on your screen if you're seeing something transient. It's flash of the blade by the batsman. Talking about redemption is because every player after a bad game, they want to perform again, dances down the track again, safely collected back by Jannat Preet. A bad game certainly does not define, but having a couple of bad tournaments, it can definitely drag your moral, your confidence, and your mindset. can give you a drawback, can have a backlash on your game. That was a full toss straight to the fielder. Yes and no. Settles down with no. And if you reflect upon the last year, the way Patiala Shahi Cricket Club played in Edmonton and in KT20 League, they had a horrific tournament and a tournament they want to forget. But still, having those tournaments, they've managed to be a champion side with pulling two trophies in their name. The only reason is because they they have this theme called redemption, is because they want to label it that they've been a champion side, and this is what champions do. When you know that you are a champion side, you want to label it and live up to that mark when everyone knows that you've been a champion side, irrespective of one bad season from Chennai Super Kings, one of the most successful franchises, or Mumbai Indians in Indian Premier League. That doesn't say. My bad. There wouldn't be a better side, a person who's lived in the game, who's been in the game forever, to give us better insight, talking about the values, the insights, management. I don't think so. There can be any better person right here in the com box alongside with me I can think about rather than Inder. Thank you, Inder. Thanks for joining us. It's my pleasure.
The end of the power play are in a bit of bother right now with 32 for 3. I would say, yeah, it's definitely a strong performance here by Patiala Shahi, who actually put them under pressure and asking a lot of questions with the ball. I think there's a lot of wind, ball is moving, and the bowlers are really bowling the right line. And right now, talking about the line, here is coming uh, this guy, Raymond. Raymond is amazing. He usually opens the bowling for Patiala Shai in a lot of other T20 games. So this time, like he's bringing in, his economy is very, I would say under six. His economy is usually under six. So you will see that once he started bowling, it's a little bit unusual action, but he's spot on. His bowling is action that's been his twirling of his arms so much, getting that momentum, and it's very difficult for a bowler to swing his arms overly and still.
Bowl accurately. I think talking about line,
Raymond for the last. Why?
he also goes along with that title along with his side, Raymond Bino, one of the best players in Canada. So he has that very unusual action. If you can look at his trajectory, he doesn't bowl somewhere higher arm action, that's been round arm action somewhere close to his arm going exactly with the rotation. I think that's been one of the key strengths, and I like to probe you one question. That is because you've been talking about the right line, right length. I think Patiala Shahi Cricket Club being one of those clubs who believes in learning and self development from the last game. I reckon they have picked everything beautifully because they've been slightly off the track and slightly off the game in the last game, and they've come better, they've bounced back. And I think this becomes one of the key values and virtues of the team when they have set up one of the mottos as redemption and they performing and living up to that motto as redemption. That speaks a lot of the club. And what do you think? What do you think? And how are the dynamics around the club?
The dynamics around the clubs are amazing.
As you rightly picked on, we talk about redemption. Redemption is one of the things that they're going for this year. I mean, last year, if you think about it, they were the champions. They won the whole divisions, but when it was a playoff game, they lost to Mississauga Dolphins. So definitely, this year they're coming really, really strong, and they believe in that. Um, Oh, that's an amazing ball. There was an appeal. Seems like it was a pretty close one. But yeah, going back to the point, I think the umpire gave it.
Umpire has given it.
Oh yeah,
We
that's an
are
amazing
still
ball. See?
wondering what has happened here,
Yeah.
and Raymond has spelled his magic. The guy who's got magic in his delivery has taken a wicket. One of the best, they say, has come silently and he's done his work one more time. I reckon the batsman has showed his chivalry. He's
Yes.
walked off the track.
100%. Yeah, so coming back to the point, redemption, right? So this time they are very, very set in their goals that they want to achieve. They want to make sure that they don't leave any stone unturned. So they are very, very focused. If you look at the energy right now on the field, everyone is very focused. Whatever happened in the last game against the Brampton Royals, they're making sure that they're not repeating the same mistakes. And I think that's the quality of a great team is that you learn from your mistakes and you come hard in the next game. You forget about what happened in the past and you move on and set the right targets for your team. And that's what they are doing right now. So they are actually bowling according to the plan. And right now, I can say Sonu Battalion is spot of bother right now. It's 36 for 4, um, seventh over going on. It's definitely looking really, really um, what's it tough for them right now to score some runs
Forget about you and me in there. A person who does not know cricket as well would say that this is a tricky position for Sonu Battalion.
right now,
And
100%.
they have rightly learned from the mistakes what they've done. And talking about toss, we have seen this usual pattern, Patiala Shahi Cricket Club winning the toss and batting first, and we haven't seen them bowling first. And do you think this would be one game? Fortunately or unfortunately, they've lost the toss and they've been put on to bowl first, and they can go check their batting order deep for the games coming up. I reckon they've got one or two games alongside with Brampton Royals coming up again.
Yeah.
So I think this would be a great game for them to test and go deeper with the batting and bowling as well.
Yeah, 100%. I would say that, if for a champion team, you can't just rely on doing one thing. I think you should be put in different difficult positions for you to become out of it, and then that's the that's where the champion team shines, right? So I think this is a great opportunity for Patiala Shai right now when they're asked to bowl first in these difficult conditions. It's windy, it's cold, but I think everyone is on spot right now. They are bowling beautifully. They're bowling according to the plan. The fielding is set accordingly, and it's not easy to score runs right now.
Not an easy environment. It's cold, but if you're batting on that track and the way Patiala Shahi cricket club's been bowling, you'll feel the heat.
Yeah.
That is not because of the weather. It's very chilly, trust me. And the people batting on the track, the only reason I say they're going to feel the heat is because 4 wickets down, and one more wicket goes down. You'll be sitting in your dugout alongside with your captain, biting your nails, and you would be praying for a miracle to happen, irrespective of the way you've portrayed your shots. And talking about miracles, this team, I'd like to point upon a very interesting fact is that the management tries to shift along with the players. And if you see in this game, we haven't got Yuvraj, they haven't got Romi, they haven't got Saad bin Zafar, they haven't got Rizwan Chima, and still they haven't got that experience side, yet the team has managed to stick around with the core. If you see Harsh Thakur, Dilroop, Simar, Gyan making a comeback, and Jannat, so still the team has core. How well do they manage it? And I really, it's beyond imagination, because moving in and out the players, shuffling in, it's not going to be easy for the management
Yeah.
to do this work.
No,
So
100%. I think, and that's where the credit goes to Jimmy for managing the whole club, and making sure that even you are missing some of the key players who have uh, displayed amazing performance in the past games. Um, Here you see the performance like this right now. Me and you, if we are looking, we can't say that they're missing four top players right now.
Absolutely not.
And on out of those, two of them are under 19 probables. They are attending the camp right now, right? So, but look at the performance right now. It doesn't seem to be affected, and that's the great, and that's wow, that's an amazing ball, and that's the great sign for a champion team. And Raymond doing what it does best,
You
right?
sure Raymond is a spin bowler? I'm not sure if he's a spinner. The only reason I would say that the umpire would have wanted to check that, and I'm sure there isn't a speed limit that a spinner wants to bowl on.
I- I'm not going in. If you have skills, might be able to hit some out of it, but I'm not gonna give you a chance to do it. So right now, I think, and that's why from I can tell you from last season as well, he used to open the bowling for Patiala Shahi. As we were talking about the speed, you could see that how accurate he is, and he has been under five in terms of economy. So that's a pretty good sign for a spinner, right?
Very true. Making you correct here as well, because if you see his economy as well, right now he's picked up a wicket and still is going under five.
Yeah, exactly. And he is asking a lot of questions. Like the batsman, it's not easy. They're not even able to score a single for them right now, and it's getting crazy.
You've played a lot of cricket. Let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
Were you comfortable a spinner probing you questions, asking you to come out? I think it's very uncomfortable when the spinner hits on the right area, right surface, and asking you to come down the track and give him the answer. And right now he's been doing that. And what would be the answer for Sonu Battalion's batsman?
I would say that so to answer your first question is that if I was put in this situation, definitely I'm not gonna enjoy this 100%. I don't want to be in this situation, but that's where the true character of the batsman comes, right? So if my suggestion right now, or for the Sonu Battalion team right now, is would be to build a partnership and see it through. Right now there are 9 overs, 40 for 4. So maybe for next 5 or 6 over, they should do the damage control where they should try and build a partnership of in next 5 overs, try and get like 5 or 4 runs each over, and try to take it deep. As you know, I mean, I am a great fan of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so he likes to
Who
take the
doesn't
game
like
deep,
the
right?
man, the myth, the legend?
And exactly, and again, once again in the finals for the Chinese Super Kings.
Oh gosh, this is
And
surreal.
and that is why, I mean, that would be my mantra for them right now, would be just to try and take it deep as much as they can, because sometimes when you do that, the runs started to flow again, and if you
This is what has happened here. He's broken the shackles,
yeah,
he's gone downtown straight, and
that's an
he is
amazing shot.
pummeled that down the track.
That's an amazing shot. Yeah, so I mean, this is what they need right now. They try and score on the bad balls, the opportunity which comes. They need to make sure that they capitalize on those opportunities, and this is how they're gonna score runs right now. So this is a great start to the over with boundary of the first ball, but that's an amazing comeback by Harsh Thakur here, bowling on the stumps and making sure that not giving any room to the batsman again.
I think there's no margin for error here. Harsh was slightly uppish on his previous delivery. He did not do anything wrong. He just flighted the ball slightly up and he smacked him down the track. And if you're bowling against the quality side, and if you look at this league, the way it's been structured, the BDCL, Patiala Shahi, enrolled in one of the elite divisions, that is the elite division. No team is to be taken for granted, and every team you've been playing against, the first game you said Mark Hodes, second against Brampton Royals, and third against Sonu Battalion. I think this is one of the those competitive league stages where you're going to face every team, and every team is going to come and ask you questions. Hey, are you the quality side? If you are, then show us that character. If you've been bowling.
Yeah, 100%. And that is why I applaud BDCL for arranging such a league and having all the top players. Like a lot of Canadian national players are playing in this league right now, and this is where it makes it interesting and competitive. You, me, whoever loves cricket, you want to be a part of a league where you are actually playing against the best. So I mean, right now in these conditions, night cricket under the lights, there are two grounds right now that we have, and BDCL is making sure that all the good players and who are actually cricket enthusiasts, they get what they actually deserve right now, and this is a great way of promoting cricket. I would say, I mean, this is a great, like, look at these conditions. I can tell you one thing. I've been playing cricket for a really long time. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have seen such a facility here.
And the only reason I would agree with your point is because I haven't been in Canada for too long. But Prem Prasad, the director of Cricket Ontario Board, had come in last week. His gracious presence was here, and he walked us through how magnificent and how fast the evolution of cricket is being here, cricket being growing. And he has told us that down the lane, 10 years down the track, or if we go past, we the batsmen could not hit ball along the carpet. If they wanted to score, there were only aerial shots which were
Yeah,
to be played. I
yeah,
think a lot goes to BDCL and their panel to organize this clubs. And I think Jimmy Sharma bringing in the team to he's nicked the ball, going past the keeper, past everyone, will be a couple of runs here. And credits to Jimmy Sharma because he promotes most of the youngsters here in this club, and freebies for the
that's a
batsmen.
sloppy stuff from the keeper. But yeah, I mean, I agree to your point, and that is what I was trying to tell you, that I can attest to that. That if you drive, if you have if bowlers bowl you a half volley and you drive it beautifully, and you expect, oh my god, this is an amazing drive, I beat the fielder, it should go for four, and trust me, that ball never used to cross 30 yards.
It's just Greek and Latin for any cricket fan. Just to imagine that if you're hitting ball along the carpet, and if you're imagining that it's going to be that drooling, delicious drive, just like one of the sponsors, Rolly Polly, who has a sponsor has tasty ice creams. If you're wondering that the drive is going to be that tasty and the ball is not reaching the fence, I think it's quite demoralizing, because one of those days when you hit good shots and the ball does not reach boundary, and I think you start wondering on and questioning your skill. Is there something that I am lacking with, or I'm missing on too?
Yeah, and that is where it was. A lot of players used to start playing aerial shots, and you're trying to score runs because like they were not getting the values for their shots, right? But here, right now, you drive a ball, it goes for boundary. That's what kind of environment you want. Those kind of grounds you want to play on, and this is definitely an amazing. Um, yep. Oh, that's a good drive.
Yes, no, he
There we go.
survived. Can
And
you
oh
imagine?
my God,
Can
the
you
throw was
imagine the
off.
luck of God residing on the shoulders of Sonu Battalion? I
That
think
would have been I mean, that was very close. I'm pretty sure if the throw was on the stumps, the batsman would have been facing the pavilion right now.
comedy of errors here.
Oh, that
Raymond's got.
happened, three runouts in today's game between LSG and
That was
Mumbai.
so obnoxious. The team which was performing so well, Nicholas Pooran coming and taking everyone for the roller coaster ride, and has failed today miserably. And we cannot say that failed miserably. I think the right term would be that today wasn't his day. And I think talking about accuracy, one point I would like to reflect here after 11 overs being bowled, the scores on 51. 54, my apologies, the scoreboard's on 54 after 10 overs. There's slight delay in the forecast of the scoreboard on your live screens. Getting back to the question, moving back again, this is the same spot where Patiala Shahi Cricket Club was in the last game. And I think one of the key aspects, what I found from my knowledge, is that there were no ones and twos what they've converted. They haven't kept the scoreboard ticking. I think that's where they choked. So I think that's where they did not explode out to the bowlers. They imploded and they fell apart because of their own batting collapse. So I
100%.
think when there's rotation of strike, when you're playing on the merit of the ball, you know that this is a good delivery. I'm going to take a single,
Yeah.
and then when you get a bad delivery, so you know you're watching the ball closely, and you're still adding the runs. It isn't that you're lagging behind. You're not having that backlog, but still you are still moving alongside with the runner ball. So I
Yeah.
think that creates more room, more wide room for you as a batsman to think in a broader a prospect and a perspective, saying that okay, I've got a couple of runs in my belt, and this is how the ball's been being performing in this area, and I can go on for a shot.
Yeah.
I think this is the same situation here. They are trying to choke here, and if they're trying to strangle them here with ones and twos, then I think this is going to be very difficult for Sonu Battalion, because every shot, if you're expecting to come out of boundary,
Yeah.
the boundaries are quite huge here.
Yeah, they are pretty huge, and this is one of the biggest grounds that we have in Brampton. Um, Going back to your point, I think you said it really right. Like you need to start uh, scoring runs in terms, so you don't have to always look for boundaries. You know what's the biggest fear for a bowler is if you are able to score six singles for him on his six deliveries. Trust me, that's something that no bowlers like, because imagine if you give five singles on five balls and the last ball you get hit for the boundary.
This one goes
Oh,
out, goes out. There's going
and
to be
it's an
slight
amazing
interruption.
shot.
Air traffic coming in, coming into picture here. He's slugged that, and what a magnificent hit that is. This is going to settle the nerves of Sonu Battalion here for a while. That boundaries come after a long break.
Yeah, I think that six will give a lot of confidence to the batsman. I think the batsman who's facing right now is Tinsa.
Was required as well. His face 24 deliveries,
Oh,
and this
that's
is
a
what we've
great
been taking.
comeback from the bowler. How many times we have seen this? You know, you get hit for a six, and next ball, all bails are flying all over.
This is a good lesson what Harsh Thakur has given us here. You shouldn't get carried away with too much,
Yes.
irrespective it's a win or a loss.
Yes. See, this is what we were talking about. You scored the runs. You hit the bad ball, but again, you're going for a glory shot again because you wanted to repeat what you just did. But ballers are here to play as well. He didn't miss the line. He was like, "You miss, I hit."
Oh dear, Inder, trust me, the place of glory isn't filled with petals and flowers. They've got a lot of thorns there, and your name being in there. Have you got immense glory somewhere? And how's your journey to the glory been?
Oh man, since I've been here, I've been a great fan. Like I've been playing cricket for almost all my life, and it's amazing to be part of Patiala Shahi Cricket Association. We have a 50 over team. We have a collaboration with them. We try to give opportunity to young talent and try to bring people and give them more and more opportunities. So that they can showcase their talent. Because you come from India to Canada. You are studying right now. You have a lot of responsibilities. Your days are busy. You're trying to squeeze in cricket somewhere. But we want to give those people opportunities who actually wants to play and enjoy cricket and actually wants to take the game to the next level. So I think this is where I think I need to give credit to Jimmy because he has been promoting cricket a lot and trying to support people who actually having tough time in managing all those things right now.
He hasn't. He has. Oh, he
Oh,
has
what a ball!
managed to get outside edge, away from the keeper. Would have been superficial if we would have asked Jannat to latch onto that ball. Wicket and a six we've seen from this over, and the score lands up to 63 after 12 overs.
It's roughly around five. The run rate is still around five. I would say if with this pace, if they are going, half of their players are out already, and I don't see like how they can get to 120, 130 from here. That would be a miracle, I would say, with these
Unless they are
conditions.
they are going to chew every ball from here, they are going after every bowler,
Yes, they
and
have to.
it's not going to be easy because Raymond's got 2 overs, if I'm not wrong. Harsh has got one, and we've got the new man coming in,
His name is Webhav.
Vaibhav from Mumbai.
Yes, Weber from Mumbai is, and also he has a great story as well. So I'm not sure he has been into so this guy
Bollywood.
Bollywood. This guy is straight from Bollywood, from B Town.
He's that more local Mumbai.
Yeah, he brings a lot of flavor from that, and
First
he's
ball, and he's been welcomed from Mumbai.
yeah.
Bread and butter. If he's going to bowl that delivery, he's going to bat all day long. What a welcome for Vaibhav this is. First ball, half tracker, typical fast bowler length. Is banged and shot. Wouldn't blame you, but the weather, it's not going to be easy to roll your arm over. And talking about Jimmy and his enthusiasm to cricket, I believe that the way he's devoted his life here. I can only say not giveaway, but he's been that devotee, and the way he's doing that his work with all of the devotion. I think he deserves all of the credit. This time, banked shot, and
And
credit
the
goes
fielder
to
is
the
here,
batsman.
amazing fielding here.
Excellent effort by the boundary raider Ravi Sandhu.
As a leg spinner, you need to make sure he's bowling against two of the left-handers, and which is a lot of left-handers would fancy to take him on right now. But with that, you need to make sure that your line and length is correct. If you are giving them any room, they are not going to, shy away from hitting you for that. But see,
Again, half tracker. He isn't shy like my fellow mate in the stole. And I think this is a gamble what Dilroop's played here. I would say 5 wickets down, bought on a leg spinner. He's bowling half trackers. And do you think they're fancying a wicket here? Asking the batsmen to score if they can score by unleashing all of their might. And suddenly they want to unleash and go for the glory shot and they perish.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely question the Roop's choice of bowler here right now, because you have two left-handers on strike. You had the off spinners bowling right now. Any captain would have bring in the off spinners against the left-hander batsman. So I'm not really sure.
This
Oh
time,
wow, the
this
gamble paid
time,
off.
that's why this is a gamble. Dilroop's captaincy's question has been answered here rightfully by Webhav. And suddenly, three half trackers and the fourth one right on the money. And he hits the middle stump.
I think that was a really, really great gamble. I think in this scenario, like as we were talking, I was telling you that from experience, like should brought on the right arm off spinner, but he went ahead with a leg spinner. Maybe maybe the boundaries are big here, so he's asking, okay, go for it. He's asking the batsman, okay, if you have guys, just go over and hit me over the boundaries. So I mean, that's paid off right now. So I take my words back. I can't question him on this right now because he got the wicket that they were looking for.
This is amazing. They're six down, just four more nails to hit in the coffin. Just formalities remaining. And new batsman walks out to the crease. Aman. They could have rejoiced on the half trackers what Vaibhav was bowling and spoil his line and length, but they've managed to throw wicket to him, and suddenly he has started to make a comeback here with his bowling line. He's adjusted his line length and his pace variability as well. Just one more ball remaining of the over. 8 runs which has come off. Interesting story about Vaibhav being, apart from being a Bollywood boy, he's bowled off spin for quite a long time, looped up, which
Okay.
was off the off stump. Another question to Inder would be why aren't we seeing any big scoring games here? Because typically in Niagara T10 it was that mad event that everyone went all guns blazing, everyone fired out, and suddenly the throttle has come down a bit. Why do you think these T20 games are not resulting on those gigantic, big total games?
I think I would say the reason would be it's a 60 ball, T10, 10 overs. Every bowler is bowling 2 overs, and they don't have a fear of getting out. They just want to score runs. So if you score, you probably will score like 110, 120 in 10, 140 in 10, because everyone is going their guns blazing. But here, 20 overs, you have to actually in 20 overs you have to build an inning. If you try and go too hard, you might end up losing your wickets and putting your team in a difficult situation. So I would say that might be one of the situation that here.
Brilliant fielding effort. Got a little network turbulence here that has taken us out for a bit. Right on the money. The weather's started to get worse here. If you haven't come prepared watching this amazing game here on the ground, you haven't got covers on yourself. What a hit! What a hit! The fielder's away. A shot of the fielder will surely collect 2 runs off that strike. He hasn't connected that well enough.
Interesting. So, Abdullah, interesting story about the Sonu Battalion, the Punjab, the Patiala Shahi, the opponents they're playing against. It has been actually the whole Sonu Battalion. You might want to ask why Sonu Battalion, right?
Interesting name, right? A
Yeah.
Sonu Battalion. It says that you are a troop of a fellow person. It's like a person's troop. Battalion says that you're a troop of a person. So
Yes.
I'd be very curious to know what's going behind the scenes.
Okay. So actually, the thing which is why they chose this name is because in the memory of um, their beloved player or teammate and friend um, who passed away in one of an unfortunate accident, and but he was close to all of his friends, and he was part of this team as well. So they are actually giving him a tribute right now. Yes. Yeah, so and that's why they are actually giving a tribute to Sonu, and that's how it is named. The team is named after him. He was very very close to everyone, and everyone used to love him. He was there for everyone in their needs. So it is interesting, and that is why they chose that name, and because of the respect they
I think
have
it's
for
a
him.
typical homage what they've been paying to Sonu.
Yeah.
It's so obscure that a cricket lover who's met demise so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think it's a heartfelt story, and people who actually there's a saying that goes on like a friend in need is a friend indeed has become just mere saying.
Yeah.
And in this world, I think this cricket club establishes an example with this exemplary name what they've given as Sonu Battalion, paying tribute and respect to him. I think this speaks a lot about sports and the character. Like the legends say
Yeah.
that sports does not show your character, but it reveals it who you actually are
Yeah.
when you're on the field. It says
and
it says
and that's why we have uh, fellow team member from the team, Abdullah, who's joining us right now, and he's going to take over and talk a little bit more about Sonu Battalion. And you, Abdul, all your questions will be answered by him because he's been amazing. He's been part of that team for a really, really long time. So I welcome Abdullah right now.
Thanks, Inda. Thanks for joining. We've got a special guest here alongside with Abdul. We've got Abdullah. Just a little lengthy extension of my name. Just joking. He's not my brother, though. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you for joining us here. A special moment, but indeed a heartfelt story what we have received here from Sonu Battalion, and what a monumental day here we are facing against Patiala Shahi Cricket Club. We just want to dive into little details and not something that plays a string onto your heart, but something we would like to know more about the club and about Sonu. If you can divulge to us.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, just I want to give a huge thank you to Patiala Shai and the organization for, you know, uh, recognizing Sonu and recognizing what the club stands for. I think it's been approximately, I think, 3 years now since we've changed our club to recognize Sonu as Sonu Battalion CC. So it's great that this recognition continues as it does today. So firstly, thank you guys so much. And yeah, so Sonu was a proud part of not our team, but our family, I would say, for quite some time. I think across the last 10 years, you can say when everyone here started playing the game together, Sonu was there with us. I personally had the opportunity, many games, to open the batting with him. And he was like no other, always smiling, always happy, staying after the game to talk about the game and love the game. Obviously, it's unfortunate what took place, but the name continues on. All of our players, we play by his name to this day. We're going to continue to do so for sure.
I believe that's the legacy what a person leaves behind. I think that says that Sonu wasn't a brilliant sportsman himself, but also a magnificent human.
Yeah,
Because if you've done something commendable to your fellow mates, your community,
yeah,
your name stays forever, remains forever, and the legacy comes on. And I think this is one of those moments that the team has adorned on his pride, and I think this is going to be something what the future generation
yeah,
people who are going to join Sonu Battalion will have a lesson to learn. Because see, they say that legends never die,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
rightly said that. And you guys are doing this for your fellow teammate, it gives a lot of ground. And I think changing your team name. Yeah, what was your team name prior to?
Yeah,
So
so initially we were Punjab Battalions. I think even now, I think a lot of teams still know us by that. But and then after the club in general, we changed all our teams' names to represent Sonu Battalions, CC. So yeah, and this is at the core what cricket stands for, like why we play the sport, right? It's not just a game. At the end of the day, it's a family we come to see day in and day out, right? We only get so much of the summer here, but regardless, everyone's super close to each other, and like you said, right, legends never die, and GTA in general teams still remember his name, and so we continue to do so on our jerseys, in our night jerseys and tournament jerseys. If you see, we have a picture of him on our jersey as well. So yeah, continuing to play by his name for sure.
I think that's a sweet and special feat that the team has achieved here by marking the team logo as him. It isn't that he hasn't departed or left the team. It's
Yeah,
like he himself is playing
yeah,
alongside with you guys. I think it's quite commendable, and not everyone being into sports, because they only think about winning and losing about the game. But sports is more about winning and losing, because there's a lot happening in the world out there. And right, rightly said that sports reveals your character,
yeah,
like who you are. It doesn't shows up, but it reveals.
yeah.
So
No, 100%.
I think would be a quite amazing game here between Sonu Battalion and Patiala Shahi Cricket Club. What do you make of this equation here?
Always is. It's a bit of a tricky equation, I would say. I think if these guys can put up another maybe 20, 30 in the next, I would say 3 to 4, and then leave a couple overs at the end to probably take the score to around 140, 145. It would be a challenging target. But at the moment, they need someone to stick in for at least a couple of overs and play out the overs. I think that's most important.
Wha- I wouldn't say that this is going to be a low scoring game because cricket has been a funny game. Turn of events eventually happen. The bowlers bowling rightly at the right area
Yeah,
suddenly start to digress of their lines and lengths.
yeah,
So would be very early for me to comment or to say that this is one of those tricky positions for Sonu Battalion because you've got the other half your bowling power coming in
exactly.
and making
Yeah,
changes to what you've done. But again, you would need certain runs in the bank for the bowlers to do the work.
to do the work. Yeah, you need to give them something to play with.
It was our pleasure, Abdullah,
Yeah,
to have you here in the com box alongside with us. It's amazing and a heart touching story of Sonu. May the cricket continue in his memory forever
yeah,
and may long live. Like he's never left us
yeah,
except for this world. I think he remains alive in our heart.
yeah. No, thank you again. I want to again give a huge shout out to what Patiala Shah is doing in the community. With these live streaming games, we get the word out to not just the people on the ground, but people at home as well. And I think that's really important. People understanding what our team stands for, what the cricket going on, etc. So thank you again. Thank you for having me.
Before
Yep.
we let you go, one more message because you've told about the shout out because of the live streaming and the social media platform. Any message from your side, your team's side, or just the perspective of Sonu, if you can give us what his perspective was that you would want to pass on to people and you want people to have a takeaway from here,
Yeah,
what would it be?
I think it's just to love one another. I think that's one of the biggest things that I personally learned. I was very young when I met Sonu, and I got approximately 3 to 4 seasons that I played with him. Have a big heart towards other people. That's the biggest thing. You come out to play whatever it is in part and parcel of life, whether it's cricket or other parts of life. Love one another, have a big heart because it's a tough world we live in at the moment, and the only thing that we can do is again continue to show love of one to one another, whether they're with us or without. I think that's the one thing I definitely get out there.
That's a big message. You've spoken that in a short and sweet note. I think we have to take pride in loving one another here because we really do not know what one's going through.
Yeah,
I think that's important for us to, continue to care about one another.
yeah.
Thanks, Abdullah. Thanks again for joining us. It was immense pleasure to have you in the Combox.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
That was Abdullah who has joined us. What a heartfelt story. Not every day our viewers get to relish on a tale like this. This happens to be the tale right now, but again, one of those demises of young soul, young hearted boys here in Canada who had come here with aspirations and unfortunate turn of events here. Just like Abdullah has told, they would want someone to care, someone to love, and Sonu Battalion rightly would want someone to care for their total here. Will the fielder be able to cut the ball out? Unfortunately, the effort's been put to futile. The ball creeps in for 4 runs. The night's going to be hard here as we progress in the later half of the game. It's going to be windy, chilly, and freezing. He's bowled that absolute ripper right in the block hole. The batsman could not dig it out. Right bowling by Gagandeep. He's been brought into action slightly late to spoil the party. He wouldn't want Sonu Battalion to fetch on few more runs. He'll relinquish the batting lineup. Wanted to take on. This is one of the mistakes. What we were discussing with Inder, that Patiala Shahi Cricket Club committed facing against Brampton Royals. They were choked, and the team started to implode by losing their wickets. Right into the block hole, straight to the wicketkeeper. Yes, no, there's no backup. The bowler coming, standing right at the stumps, would have helped the batting team and the batsman to put away his misery by sending him back to the dugout. Slight lethargic efforts from the bowler and the fielders from Patiala Shahi Cricket Club. The only reason is because they had an opportunity to convert a half opportunity into a full fledged wicket. But I hope this is not one of those games that this batting order, the lower order, turns turns around the events, turn around the events, and it's going to be hefty fine imposed on Patiala Shahi Cricket Club by the lower order of Sonu Battalion. We are almost approaching halfway of this match. 17 overs completed. The score is 96 on the fall of 6 wickets. What do you viewers reckon that the total would be? A decent total here. 120 is what they would reach. Just in picture, we've got bowler and the wicketkeeper. The right line, the right length. The batsman's got only one shot in his cricket book that he wants to slash. It's going to be difficult for the batsman to pick up the line in the length. The key here would be to rotate the strike. If his smack that goes high in air, falling short of the man who's stationed at long on. Cues up, cries of catches, man settling underneath the ball, and excellent catch. It's not easy to take catch in that area because suddenly you don't have visibility in that area where it's away. There's no light that projects, that helps you to point the ball when it goes in the air. Excellent catch. Sometimes easy catches are difficult. And one more down, 7 wickets down for Sonu Battalion. Was a good start by Yashwant where he showed his flashy shots, but his innings came to an end and it didn't take much time for the batsman to line behind him and head back towards pavilion. New man, Satnam, walks out to the middle. Bhagwan Singh hasn't been giving that all-round performance with his fielding effort. One of the gun fielders and lazy effort. Good shot. His connected. Satnam's connected out of the middle. The fielder was in position, but again luck favors the brave. Brave shot to play. Very first delivery. He's got off the mark some fashion. They would need a few more blows from Satnam. Good delivery. Wanted to cut. The ball was quick. Subtle change of pace for Bhagwan Singh. Again changed his pace. Bowled slower. Batsman could not read him. 18 overs completed. The scores 101 on the loss of 7 wickets. This is going to be a hard climb for them to put up 120 on the board. They'll need a couple of boundaries to go to 120. At least that it's run a ball. We've seen low scoring run encounters here. Drives, powers down his wrists. Good throw by the fielder. Out it covers region. Drives there will want to take 1 into 2. Running hard and they complete brilliantly. They definitely would want to convert 1 into 2 here. With that, they'll want to pile pressure on the fielders. By putting some pressure on the fielders, they'll get some misfields. That would be that area. Uh, well bowled. Well bowled. Accurate Yorker. Good line. If the batsman messes out to pick onto that delivery, he'll end up losing his wicket. The southpaw has faced most of the deliveries. Aman will want to capitalize, put on some runs here on the board for the fellow bowlers to defend. He slashed it between the point and extra covers fielder. Gets 2. 19 overs completed. The scores 108 on the loss of 7 wickets. Last over to complete the proceedings. Who will be the guy? Patiala Shahi Cricket Club will choose to complete the 20 overs. Bhagwan Singh to bowl last ball of the match. Right on the money, will have to show some football skills. Crafty batsmen take 1 run. 5 more deliveries. How many can they put on? The question All sins will be washed away if they manage to put some big runs here in these 5 deliveries. They are going to be baptized. First one. Is it the first one? Straight to the fielder. Bang on. Released from misery. He's been freed of the guilt and sent back to pavilion. 8 down. Is it going to be a complete end of batting lineup, or will there be any wicket remaining? New batsman walks out. Again, he's bowling like a bowling machine. Coming back for the second one. The non-striker was entrusted, but not the batsman at the keeper's end. We've got 1 run, wicket, and 3 more deliveries remaining. Can we get in the block hole again? The keeper should have come up. The keeper should have come up, or one of the fielders inside the circle to stop these singles. Every run counts here. Takes on, is going for the aerial route. One bounce in the hands of fielder, gets 2 runs. One delivery for the closure of innings. Has he put that in the gap? Has he managed to take boundary? A great duet. Great fielding effort in the deep. And that closes the innings with 2 runs. And we land on 115, 116 required for Patiala Shahi to score and win this game. We'll join you again after a quick break when the second innings begins. Thank you. Welcome back after recess. We've got Patiala Shahi's opening pair, Ravi Sandhu and Janat Preet on the crease, making their mark and ready to face the first ball. Fielders settling down. They've got 115 to chase down in 120 balls. Run rate coming down under 6. Very first ball of the second innings. Falls short of the slip cauldron. Good start. The bowlers are going to play a crucial role here. Welcome back, Inder. They've got
Thank
one slip cauldron. Takes on skies, queues up while going straight in the air. Falls in low man's land. Is this the type of start they need? Because last time we are going to definitely take back and forth and take the reflection of the last match against Brampton Royals. And this was one of the key factors where every batsman went after every delivery, and that's where the wickets started tumbling after and after.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I agree with you. Um, I'm not really sure about if this is kind of approach they want to go for. I think it's more of like a very aggressive approach they are adapting here. It was the second ball of the over, and he tried to go over the fielders. I think this is more of the kind of approach that you want. Play along the ground. You need less than 6 runs per over. Just try and settle down, and then probably capitalize on all the loose balls that you're gonna get.
To what extent would you say it's fair for an opening batsman to just go all guns blazing and bat with all of your license? Because early wicket, because opening partnership tends out to be crucial in the game,
Yeah.
because if you've got good score on the board by the opening pair, it gives you a good platform to convert into a good score and chase down the target efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I kind of believe that opening partnerships sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times are very crucial because it gives license to other players who are coming in and keep on going with the momentum that has been set by the opening batsman. Oh, that's a very good running. He knew where the filter was. He placed the ball and they steal that quick single right away. So, I mean, right now they have 4 runs of 4 balls. I mean, I would say that you definitely try and come in, see how the ball is coming in. They have already bowled on this track, so I would say just see one over and see how much ball is doing, and then basically go from there on. Here, if I mean, I know you have done the coverage for the T10, and you probably have seen Ravi Sandhu over there as well. He has aggressive approach. He usually tries to go hard in the power play. What do you say?
He's got that power hitting ability, the clean power hitting and the crisp ability to play along the carpet and go with the aerial routes as well. I think it would be injustice to the ability and the type of stardom and the player he's been if he is not living up to that expectations. I think it's going to be pretty cruel on his name. And definitely, I would say that hitting alongside with the carpet is the key. And the very first shot, what he's played is that he just threw everything at the ball. And this time, this is a measurable approach, measured shot, instead of just going with everything and throwing everything what he has towards the ball.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a really good example. The ball was the batsman was giving a lot of room outside of the off stump, and kind of like it was a half volley, and the batsman capitalized on that, gave them an opportunity to free his arms, and he capitalized on it and scored a boundary for his team. I'm pretty sure. I feel like Ravi Sandhu is someone who is not going to be stay there and try to see it through towards, like, I would say, try to take it end towards the end of the game. He's gonna go all guns blazing in the power play. He want to make sure that he tried to put his team in a very strong position in the first 6 overs.
And how much do you think this approach is going to make the team vulnerable? And how much do you think this approach is going to make the team have a strong platform? Because if you see Chris Gale, or if you see it Rohit Sharma, or if you see Brendan McCullum, they go after the bowler. They do not want to look at the ball and take that measured counter approach or that calculated risk. It's just that even if you see Virender Sehwag, you ask him or you see in his interviews, he says that he only recognizes the change of game by the color of ball, irrespective of the format. He just goes behind the bowler because he knows where the strength is, and most of the times he's got the result. But there has been times as well, oftentimes it's ended up losing their wicket, and that has put the team in a tough position.
Yeah, and that's kind of cricket that Virendra Sehwag has always played, right? He was like, if the ball is there to be hit, he's gonna, and if he thinks it's in his reason, he's gonna go for it
Wanted to
regardless of it.
slash, quickly passes into keeper's gloves.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely, if that kind of approach puts your team in vulnerable state, but it is kind of, that sort of situation where you don't know, because if the batsman is able to capitalize on the start he gets, right, then it puts your team in a very good situation as well. So it's more of like, um, you know, pros and cons to the same situation, right?
That is the only reason I believe that. Look, this is an excellent hit. This is excellent hit. He stood tall, waited the ball to come to him, and he's played the ball late. He did not charge along with the ground, but he's allowed the ball to come to his body. The ball had width. He just had to slash it.
Yeah, and so these are the kind of, balls that you always look for. Um, there was first ball was white ball, followed by a short half tracker outside of odd stump, gives batsman a lot of room, and he capitalized on that. So that kinds of balls, put bowler under the pressure. Right now, I feel like bowler is under immense pressure right now because he's pulled one ball and already given 5 runs.
The very first ball, this time he's exposed his stumps, moved slightly away from the stumps and could not connect the ball to his bat. And talking about the subtleness and the combination of opening pair, that's why I think there's always someone who plays alongside with the carpet, irrespective of the other batsman or your fellow partner. But there have been instances that both the batsmen have been explosive. This is an excellent delivery. This is absolutely amazing, and the batsman is wondering what has happened here. He
Yeah,
is in a state of shock, and he's questioning the fielders and the umpire. He's absolutely not happy with the decision. He
yeah.
is shrugging his shoulders and will be a long walk for Jannat.
Yeah, and he was suggesting that it didn't hit his bat or gloves, it actually rubbed his shoulder. So uh, seems like he's not happy with the decision. But as it says, umpire decision is the last decision. You can't review these decisions here in the ground.
Nah, that is the dreaded finger the batsman does not want to look on. And how fair do you think the umpire's approach in today's game is? It's very hard or unpredictable to have a say on umpire's decision, because sometimes umpires do take a while to make the decision, but sometimes suddenly they think it's not out, and suddenly they come under the pressure of the appeal and they think they give it as out. So how fair do you think there has to be a spontaneous decision, or do you think that the umpires are to take some time, and if they're not sure about giving out, do you think they should discuss it with the leg umpire?
One thing I will tell you that umpiring is not an easy job, and there's immense pressure on the umpire during those crunch situations where bowler is appealing, and there's umpire is trying to play that ball again in his head, and that's where I always tell that instead of until and unless it's crystal clear that there is a nick, you heard it, or there is the LBW decisions we are talking about, where you're trying to, just if you feel like this is plumb, you can give the decision. But in my opinion, you should always try and play that ball in your mind and see how the trajectory would have hit, and if the batsman, what the moment of the batsman was, whether it was pitching in line. So all those kind of things, umpire should always play in his mind before giving a decision. I feel like it's very very important, because um, imagine if you're in batsman shoes and you didn't nick the ball and umpire gives you out without even thinking twice, or consulting, if they're not sure, consulting with their fellow umpire. I mean, that actually is putting the batting team in a difficult situation, because you just got unlucky because umpire thought that you were out.
And unlucky for the batting team, yeah, suddenly the tables have turned for this over. They've got an excellent boundary, and suddenly turn of events that Jannat's lost their wicket. Jannat has lost his wicket.
Yeah, and Jannat
Early
was
loss of wickets, very early loss of wickets hasn't changed for Patiala Shahi Cricket Club. They've been losing in 3 games, early wicket at early stage.
Yeah, and it seems like it is becoming a sort of a pattern here, where I don't know if the management thinks that they should go hard and don't care about the wicket, and try to capitalize on the power play. If that's what the thinking, or that's the kind of brand of cricket they want to play, aggressive cricket. If that's the thinking, then maybe they don't worry about losing 1 or 2 wickets in the power play if they can put some runs on the board. But um, I definitely agree with you that in the last 3-4 games, this seems like a pattern. They lose quick wickets, especially in the power plays. They are 2 down, 3 down, which puts the pressure on the upcoming batsmen.
There have been certain areas and certain games that they could have won the game very easily
Yeah,
by going after the bowlers, and I think there's to be subtle changes and certain changes that can be made from the batsman's point of view as well.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to go all guns blazing and trying to score boundary of each and every ball. For me, I feel like you should play on the merit of the ball, and if you feel like the ball is there to be hit and it is in your area, you try and capitalize on that. You shouldn't take unnecessary risks, and just put your team in a difficult situation. I know you're trying to get some quick runs, but at the end of the at the end of the day, you want to win that game, right? You want to put your team in a strong position.
Ali Nadeem, strong hitters of the ball, and no boundary of any ground can contain him if he starts hitting. He
He is an exceptional talent. I played against him. The team was in a spot of bother. We were playing a T20 game, and they were like 5 down. He came in and scored like 80 plus runs in like 35 or 30, 35, 36 balls. I still remember his inning. If he would have stayed maybe 3, 4 overs,
Look at that delivery. Look at that delivery. It has taken batsmen out of astonishment.
that angle from the left armor, just taking ball across from the line, is definitely not an easy ball to play.
And suddenly it starts coming in because of your angle. If it's a right hander, you are a batsman, and if you are a right hander and your natural angle brings the ball inside you like an in swinger,
Yes.
having seam from the surface.
And he has a little bit of unusual action if you look at it. Like, he's a very short run up, but even then he's able to generate a lot of
4 steps and bang on.
hang on, and sort of like a Sohail Tanveer's action.
Yeah, and we thought that Bumrah, when he eventually came in at his early stage, we thought that this is going to be one of those unusual actions. But in today, modern day cricket, we recognize him as one of the best with those action.
Oh yeah, and then this is a nice shot by Ravi Sandhu off the pads, and he flicked it towards the deep square leg, and the fielder gathered the ball and returned to the keeper, and they got easy 3 runs.
What I would say, the talent scout of Mumbai Indians and Patiala Shahi Cricket Club, one thing in common is that they've been quite amazing and brilliant finding new talent for the club, and this has been one of those times for Patiala Shahi Cricket Club as well, that they've been promoting young talent here, because you see, after the mega auction happened, the team was realigned, restructured. They had no Pandya brothers. Suddenly Pollard went for retirement, and then suddenly they had no core team. But eventually Cam Green came in, Tim David came in, and with that young talent, the core team. Similarly, the talent scout of Patiala Shahi Cricket Club as well brings in new talent. They groom in, and they start getting those star cricketers from their club.
Yeah, and this is why they are promoting cricket as well, right? So bringing the young talent in and grooming them to be the next generation cricketers for the country as well as for their clubs. It's definitely a step in right direction. Um, as we were talking before as well, they're missing key players here today. Yuvraj, Romy, they all are not here today, but even then, the team performed really well by restricting the opponents, the Sonu Battalion, for 115 in their 20 overs.
For any team, the core, you age, and with that age you would want to pass on the baton.
Yes.
Suddenly you see that Sachin was retiring, and you would question who would pitch in and who would be that reliable dependent batsman. So, Virat Kohli chipped in, and suddenly you see that that baton, as Virat Kohli is aging, coming close, he's got a lot of cricket left, definitely, no wonder. But if you look at Dhoni's captaincy as well, you being one of those fan of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so
Always.
I think that 2010, 2009 and 10 Commonwealth Series in Australia, that was a turning point when he had dropped in the key players who were key component of Indian team, those big names, and suddenly he brought in the newcomers. I think that was a turning point when you know that you have to groom in the newcomers so that they get the exposure, experience, and when you know that there are big events coming in, so you look at the longer, bigger picture.
I think transition is very important, and as you rightly put it, Dhoni realized then that the next generation needs to come in, and he started grooming players. And exactly the same way, Kohli decided the same thing, that he want to pass on the baton and give opportunities to other players. That's an amazing short ball. Batsman was not in full control of their shot, but still able to take an easy single. Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, like when Sachin used to play, we used to think like no one can even come close to Sachin. The kind of cricket he has played, he has been the role model for a lot of young cricketers during that time. And Virat Kohli, Sehwag, there are few names that have openly spoken about how they have admired and learned from the great. And at the same time, right now, Virat Kohli has been that kind of a person who is being there for next generation cricketers. So the cricketers coming up right now is Shubman Gill right now. He's termed as like a prince of Indian cricket right now, because the way he is going, he seems like he's going to be the next big thing in Indian cricket.
That is for sure. Excellent delivery. Had put the batsman on the back foot, and the authority. I think that authority from the batsman is being stolen by the bowler and Sonu Battalion here.
Yeah.
And couple of more tight overs like this. This is going to be a tight game. Quick running between the wickets. Communication has been the key here. Good backup by the fielders.
Satnam Singh.
Excellent fielding. They know that they haven't got much runs left in the bank. They'll have to count on every run and
They have to
not
back the
scurry the
ballers.
ball into the boundary.
Yeah, and they have to make sure that they're on top of their game right now, because they don't have a lot of runs to defend. And when you don't have a lot of runs to defend, you want to make sure you put batsmen into the tough situations where you make their life difficult even for a single run.
And exactly, getting back to the point before that delivery, we were discussing about the aura of the Indian cricket team, how it evolved, the transition, what took place. I feel the same aura when I speak to Jimmy Sharma, the key establisher who incorporated this club, and when I see the club making changes, I feel the same vibe, because if you see the big names that have shared dressing room with Sachin, and they happen to be one of those big names here, and similar pattern. What I find here is that Canadian
That's an
That is
amazing
excellent.
shot by
Flat.
Ali Nadeem.
And that shows what his brute strength is and how hard he can go after delivery and still have gas remaining in his tank.
That was one of he
Marvelously played
that,
to the
that
square of the wicket.
that was a quick. He quickly pounced on that short ball and hit it over the mid wicket for a boundary.
Very few who can generate timing irrespective of the quickness of the bowler.
Yes,
They can feel that they've got excellent and immaculate timing of the delivery.
I think they're making some changes to the field right now. One they have taken out the fielder from the slip and it's going towards the square leg umpire position. So maybe we're expecting another short ball.
This is what one excellent delivery makes you do changes in your field.
Full length ball.
Drives it, is not carried away, will have to run.
Oh, he had to rush for it.
Was testing fielder,
Uh,
was testing his acuteness.
yes.
And getting back to the point, rightly said, Inder, team being shaped, team being formed and formulated. I think this is the strength you want to conflate, you want to bring in everything together. And the big names, what we've been talking in Indian cricket, and people who admired the god of cricket happen to be one of the big things in Indian cricket. And similarly, if you see the core, what Indian cricket team had in 2011 2000 at its very peak and pinnacle when Indian cricket team reached, and that's the result coming out. They had unbeaten side, the whitewashed teams, and one test series as well in the away countries, in Sena countries, which was a dream for captains to go to countries hosting and win test series. Similarly, if I see the pattern, Canadian cricketers playing in Patiala Shahi Cricket Club and shaping and grooming, cultivating the future talent for Canada in this cricket club says me the same story and the same theme what Jimmy Sharma has managed to pull off in this club.
Yeah, and it is very important to be supportive of the young talent which is coming up and know where and when to help with the transition. You know, when you are young, sometimes you don't know what is right for you. If you're making the right choices, if you're going in the right direction, there might be time where you think like you're not doing the right thing. So it is very important for someone to guide you and be there for you to help you out with that transition. And um, I'm very much involved in day to day of these um, uh, with these players, and I can tell you one thing from experience that um, these players, with the support of Jimmy and from the Patiala Shahi Cricket Association, has been a great. Uh, I would say they are coming off from a great background, but definitely they're going into the right direction right now. That's
I think that's a safe pair of hands if you are under the leadership. They are in the safe pair of hands if they are under the right influence of Jimmy Sharma and the club. I think longevity. If someone's looking for longevity in cricket and wants to make career out of cricket, I think this is one of the right places to be groomed, to invest your time, and rightfully looking at the bigger picture.
yeah, and Patiala is, I think, going right now in at a good pace. They are around 30. They are at 30 for one for the loss of one wicket at the end of 5 overs. Simmerjeet Teenside's continuing with his third over. Short ball, sort of like a slower one. Batsman might be furious that he couldn't capitalize on that.
Or maybe he could not read that completely.
Yeah, sort of deceptive, slower ball. One of those balls where you know you want to go for it, but you don't want to go for it.
And suddenly you end
Keeps
up
you
losing your
guessing.
wicket. That becomes horrendous turn of events.
Yes.
This time goes cries of appeal. The umpire says he's free of guilt.
I think that's another interesting thing. Simmerjeet Dints are usually bowls the off spin during the league games. I think this is the first time I'm seeing him in long time bowling all these, coming up with these fast-paced deliveries. Most of the time, I think he's bowling seam up. He's not bowling seam balls.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention. They require more seam bowlers here. That's why he
Exactly.
stepped up.
He used to be the seam bowler when he has played in the first or second editions of GT20. I think after those two editions, he had some injury, and because of that, he turned out to be a off spinner. And now I think it seems like he's very fit right now. So probably back to his basics on what he does best.
I think would be an extremely good platform here because G20 T20 is also underway.
Yeah,
Good
that's
change of pace. Good change of pace. Not every fast bowler can deceive this type of player who's with this set of caliber. And he's bruised. Not the ideal weather. You don't want to be hit by the ball in this type of weather condition.
that was a very good change of pace.
This time goes quick, and the faster his ball, nimble feet. He is got that off within a flash.
He was looking for pace, right? Pace on the delivery. Batsman was waiting for it. I think the two slower balls he bowled in the over, he kept the batsman guessing. But I feel like the batsman knew that this was coming in, and he was already prepared and smashed it over the mid off for a boundary.
He's still groaning in pain, and he's responded the answer for pain with that boundary. What an excellent shot that was! Marvelous hit, dance off the track, and hit the bowler down the track. This time,
Another short ball.
good answer. Good answer by the bowler. This is going to be exciting. But by the bowler and the batsman.
I think the batsman was questioning about the height of the ball, but I feel like umpire said it was well within the reach of the batsman. Umpire signaling the end of power play at the end of 6 overs. Patiala Shahi Cricket Association is at 36 for the loss of 1 wicket. What do you think about the situation right now? Patiala is. Do you think they are going to keep on going with the 6 runs per over, or they will try and to up the momentum?
Too comfortable. I think the type of caliber Ali Nadeem and Ravi Sandhu has, if they are going to get on any delivery, they are going to be predators and they do not want to be preyed upon. I think every predator is also preyed. If you look at the chain,
Yeah.
you make a mistake, you become prey in the
Yes.
food chain. So
That's a
this
very
is
good
how
example.
that's how it's going to be. Like if there's going to be any more overs by Simarjeet, I think they'll have to bat with saneness of mind and intellectuality rather than going after Simmer because they know you'll have to respect good deliveries. It's
Yes.
more. It's not about respecting the bowler. It's more about respecting the game and respecting delivery. So you pay respect to the game respects you back. So that's how it's going to be, and I think it's a comfortable position, and there's no harm if they are still proceeding with the current comfortable rate because you are in the early start of stage, and right now the agenda for the team would be like making every league stage, every match, turning it into a victory rather than running behind the run rate.
Change in bowling right now. I think new bowler is Satnam Singh. Oh, I came.
He's
Oh,
chopped onto
the
his
bails didn't
stumps.
fell off. The bails didn't fell off. The bowler is in absolute disappointment. The bail didn't fell off. Ali
And
Nadeem hit the ball with the bat. Ball rolled down, hit the stump, but
And
the
I
bail
think what
didn't
a
fell
gentle
off.
gesture by Nadeem says that go on, bowl to me. The wheels haven't fell, and everyone in disarray. And the
I
funny
think,
story continues. Ali
yeah,
Nadeem survives, and the keeper's checking. And Zinger bales are certainly heavy than regular
yes,
wood bales.
exactly. So probably that saved Ali Nadeem here. I think nice. I would say this is a nice change. They're trying to take the pace of the ball, bringing in Satnam Singh, who is a very experienced off spinner. He's been playing cricket for over 10 years here in Canada. He's been a regular member of their team. So it would be a good challenge for Ravi and Ali to see how they go about it.
I believe that was his experience that came off very first delivery that has helped to take almost wicket of Ali Nadeem. I think Satnam has already written a wicket in his name in his cricketing book. So he's like, okay, no, don't worry, I've already got you in
Yeah,
my own personal book. But actually, that was a brilliant delivery. He was pushed onto the back foot, and that resulted the ball to be chopped onto his stump.
exactly. And right now, Snam Singh is spot on. He's just bowling the tight line, not giving any room to the batsman, and asking batsmen a lot of questions. Another short ball. Ball was in the air, hit straight down the ground. 2 mid on for a single. I feel like in these scenarios where you see that batsman is playing comfortable against the pace bowling, do you think their strategy would be from here now on to just go a little bit more aggressive because they should be looking for wickets? Because if these batsmen they play another 5 or 6 overs, the game would be over.
That's a brilliant cut, and he's found the gap. And I wonder if the balls reach the fence or not. They will be coming back again
For the
for the
three.
third one. I believe if you've got wickets and your approach should be to go behind the bowler because you aren't going to take the wickets to your home.
Yeah.
So I think that those changes, if you are running after one bowler, you should target one of those bowlers because usually what happens in the bigger T20 events, what happens around the globe
Yeah.
is that you see IPL, you see Big Bash League, the Caribbean League. It's been a mystery for picking up Rashid Khan and Sunil Narine.
Yeah.
I think those are the overs when suddenly and Suyash Sharma from Kolkata Knight Riders have come in. So suddenly players, the batsmen who are on the ace level thought that he's making them difficult. It's been slightly difficult to pick his line length and his trajectory. So they've gone after the paces. If you look at Tim Saudi, the pace attack of KKR, that's where they face difficulty. So I
Yeah.
think it's intellectual and more cerebralistic approach of the batting side rather than going after every bowler. I think they should be going after those bowlers where your strength lies on. So if you're a good player of pace, I think why not pace then?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Change in bowling from the another side as well. New bowler Guriqbal Bora, also named as Gary. He bowls left arms. Lot of slow balls, lot of off cutters in his bowling. Let's see if we will be seeing a lot more of those during his spell here.
Do you think we haven't seen something like pace going on from one end and spin going on from the other end? Because usually either of the batsmen is a good player of spin and is a good player of pace, and sometimes you happen to see that the batsman excellent delivery, excellent deception by the bowler, batsman finding hard to read the ball and read
I feel like this
the
is
roll
not,
on his
yeah.
fingers.
Yeah, I feel like this is not that kind of a wicket where you can just go all guns blazing. The ball is stopping and coming, and if you are varying your pace, you are actually asking a lot of questions from the batsman. It all comes down to the skills on how you negotiate that, because obviously bowling team is also there to win. And right now it seems like it's even Stevens where um, I would say that if they bowl two or three more. Uh, two or more overs where they squeeze the runs, I feel like the batsman is going to make some sort of mistake.
Yes, because the pressure eventually piles on, and I think 120 close to 120 is a decent total here on the track because of the boundary dimensions, which are quite big, and the scoring rate hasn't been at brisk rate.
Yeah, I think it's a par score here. I would say definitely it's going to be a cracker of a game. It's not going to be easy. It's big dimensions, but what I feel like the batting team missing right now is they are playing a lot of dot balls as if the another initiative by the BCCI where they're planting 500 trees for every dot ball. I feel they are mistaken. They are trying
I
to be
think the
mistaken here.
BCCI comes into picture here. I think our message should be passed on.
Yeah, so I mean, they should try and rotate the strike and trying to make sure that they are not playing a lot of dot balls, because which then it could be a difficult for the next batsman who's coming in to go from the first ball.
Somehow he's opened the face of the bat and the ball will scurry away to the boundary. But boundary not being friend of the fielders here this time. The outfield is eventually slow, so what the bowlers can do here is that make the batsman play along the carpet than making him hit for those aerial shots. Sometimes the batsman gets frustrated, they play a quality shot, a excellent shot, and they expect the result to be optimal, but not getting those results. I think the batsman would be frustrated and end up making a mistake.
Yeah, and here I would say that Ali Nadeem, bringing all his experience right now in, he saw that the third man was inside the circle. He opened the face of the bat, and the ball rolled down to the boundary. I think that is going to give him a lot of confidence, because he is. This is one of those days where his strike rate is below 100. He's usually, when he's playing, is above 150 and 160. But I think it's just the way the day is going, where the conditions are difficult. It's not easy to bat on, and bowlers are putting them under a lot of pressure.
And let's not forget that it's getting cold as well. So, isn't a favorable condition to be there out in the field,
Agreed.
even for the batsman or for the bowler.
Yeah, I think
And
that's the uh, end of the 8 overs. Patiala is still going strong for 48 for the loss of 1 wicket. I think that's a decent partnership that both Ali and Ravi Sandhu has developed here.
to highlight your point, I would say that it's something more to ask for the lower order batsmen to come in for the extra run rate that you've incurred more dot balls and asking them to come and go after every delivery to hit and hit and hit. I think that's something obnoxious to ask for the batsman to go behind every bowler. So what happens? Apparently, you go by every bowler. You start collecting ones and twos, and that is an incremental to your innings.
Yeah, and trust me, I feel like something's going to happen in this over. It's my gut feeling. I feel like Ali is going to try and um, score a boundary or two in this over. If he's like he is at he is at 17 of 19 balls. It doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like very comfortable while playing the spin bowling.
To our viewers who think why Inder feels that there's something going to happen in this over, the only reason is because he's got a crystal ball. This is our little secret, that he's got a crystal ball and he predicts everything.
See, there we go. That keeper and bowler is going to have a quick chat. I feel like they're making some sort of strategy.
And this
And
over also is going to define the type of momentum the innings is going to go with, because spinners, if they are not going to take a charge on the spinners,
yeah,
that means that they are still going to play slow with a steady strike rate. And if they're not going to strike him, if there aren't going to be any runs, this becomes one of those overs that you wanted the bowlers to squeeze.
yeah. I feel like that's a great ball off the pads for the single.
And one more key pointer here, apart from runs being squeezed, that this is going to be those overs that they'll try to squeeze every run here so that they don't give the liberty for the batsman to reach onto the target easily.
Yeah.
I think they are missing a point here for converting ones into twos,
Yes.
and that fast running somewhere has been missing.
It's a big ground. They should be able to convert the one into twos. I agree with you. It seems like that's the kind of approach they have been missing in last few games as well. They are trying to hit too hard. They're trying to go for the glory
Yes,
shots
no
and then
hesitation. He's halfway down the track.
he was lucky that the fielder couldn't gather the ball. Otherwise, he would have been
A
coming
walking
towards the
corpse,
pavilion.
for sure.
Yes, I was saying that it seems like it has been the pattern for the Patiala Shahi for last 2 3 games where they are trying to go for the glory shots and trying to score more boundaries and not taking one on converting ones into twos or twos into threes. If you look at the dimension of both the grounds they have played on, their big grounds around 75 to 80-meter boundaries, and you and the fielders are deep towards the boundaries, they should be able to convert those ones into twos.
And this ground also tests your fitness level as well. Fitness has to be one of those prominent factors as a cricketer that you keep as your priority. So I
Yes.
think this is one of those ground that tests your fitness. And again, the introduction of ram shot, what we've seen here. So this was one of those overs that we were seeing something extraordinary, fancy coming out of the cricketing books of the batsman.
Yes, and if you see here, as I was telling you before, I felt like something's gonna happen. So in last two balls, we have seen two adventurous shots that's been played. First by Nadeem, the ram shot. Now this time, ball was on the wicket, and Ravi just completely slogged that ball and completely missed it. Even the keeper missed it, and the ball went for a four byes. That if the ball would have been on wicket, that could have been a different situation.
Playing across the line, this delivery, we'll discuss more about playing across the line with Inder. So far, you see the worm chart on your screen. Suddenly, the pace of Patiala Shahi Cricket Club has started to increase, where their worm has picked up the pace and marching towards the total to finish off the innings. End of the over, one more over completed, 9 overs down. Halfway mark of this innings as well, 10th over. Will be walking in into 10th over. The score is 54 on the loss of one wicket.
पता मैनू लिया 140000।
Bangs and shot, jabs. That's a fascinating pull. What a strong pull with superfluity. Has shown his dexterity. He's a craftsman. The faster it is bowled, is hit double the pace. What a good hit. There was not many can pull the ball for that pace.
That was an excellent shot by Ali Nadeem.
He's managed to found the gap. Will he be coming back for the second one? Yes, no. He was confident. Nadeem comes back for the second one. This is one of those over. They've started to pick onto the pace.
I think they're trying to try and just up the momentum here. It feels like Ali Nadeem, he has already seen a lot of balls. He's on 27 of 24 balls, so he's seeing the ball pretty well. He's going to try and convert those ones into twos. If you look here, oh no, it seems like he's a little tired. He's as we were talking, as you were saying before, this ground tests your fitness, and in these conditions, it's not easy. But definitely, these big grounds are testing your conditions where you are testing your fitness, testing your skills. So yeah, a lot of things which are riding on right now on Gary as he's planning to bowl another ball. Um, we have not seen a lot of cutters this time from him, so maybe he might be bringing some on. And as we were
Has
talking
opened the
about,
face of the bat, guided to third man. Isn't this one of those nights that you aren't tired of playing, you aren't exhausted, but one of those nights that you don't want to be out there on the field and suddenly not play because it usually is appalling for you?
yes, welcome to Canada, my friend.
This has been one of the taglines from the day one I've come in.
Can
Welcome
you
to Canada.
It's May 24th, and you expect the weather to be 8 degrees.
He's played with soft hands to the third man, quick running between the wickets to pick one.
Good over for Patiala so far. They have scored 9 runs of 5 balls.
This has
So
to be one of those overs they have managed to score big in one over.
yes, and it definitely helps them with their momentum. Both players, both batsmen are looking very comfortable right now. It doesn't seem like the bowler is any threat for them. From here on, if they lose their wicket, it would be definitely just their fault because they look very comfortable right now.
I think apart from Simmer's bowling, there hasn't been one of any hostile piece of bowling that has intimidated the batsman till now.
Yeah, and easy single to end the over. They scored 10 runs for the last over.
49 required of 60 deliveries. Patiala Shahi leading from front, bossing the game.
Exactly. Definitely in a strong position right now. Just need under a 5 runs per over.
The grip isn't too strong. It's just Sonu Battalion is a couple of wickets away to creep back into the game.
Let's see what uh, captain of Sonu Battalion, Aman, has stored.
And rightly said, with our calculation that this is one of the expensive overs in this innings. They've managed to pull off 10, and eighth over was the second expensive over.
I think there's another change in bowling now. And we're looking to see who's the next bowler who's going to come and try and take some wickets here for his captain Aman for Sonu Battalion.
The type of batting.
Bowler code? The group bowler. New bowler, Raza.
And I think with the batting firepower what Patiala Shahi Cricket Club has, they haven't boodled, they haven't spent runs illegally. They could have done that. They could have maximized the run spending, and they could have been that run machine team
Yeah.
that goes on striking the ball at excellent strike rate.
First ball, down the leg. Wide called by umpire.
Freebies to collect.
Yeah, it's not a great start to the over with 2 extra runs without a ball being pulled. I feel like the strategy here and right now for Sonu Battalion should be to try and take some wickets here and put Punjab Battalion under pressure because right now the way they are going, they're just cruising. They're cruising through the target that they have been set for. Raza preparing, change the side, coming right arm over to Ali Nadeem.
One more over from Simmer. I think they should bring on Simmer. Good effort from the fielder to save couple of runs, but still they've managed to run hard. One more over from Simmer. The only reason I believe Simmer should be bought on is because he would stifle, make the batsman unconscious with the type of deliveries he has in his artillery. He has managed to hit Ravi Sandhu on his glove, and he was groaning in pain. And I think he's one of those bowler that has to be bought on. So when you are already far away from the game, it makes no sense having his overs contained. So you want to bring him on at that point of time when it's most important, rather than somewhere you've lost the game already.
Yeah, and I agree with you. There's no point on keeping on to his or holding on to his one over where you are desperately seeking for a wicket. And I think I agree with you that he's the only bowler who looked impressive today with change in with his change in line, with his change in deliveries. I think he was one of the impressive bowlers for tonight.
That every bowler has looked docile and toothless
Yeah,
for the batting, and except for one instance that Satnam almost he's flashed his blade quickly to cow corner, Impressive fielding effort here. Outstanding in the outfield.
Think
Satnam had almost bowled out Ali Nadeem, but luck residing on his shoulder
luck
didn't send
favors
him
the
back to
brave,
his
my
pavilion.
friend. That's what they say. Luck favors the brave.
Indeed, and Ali Nadeem needed some sort of luck to come out and score nicely in this game. That's a nice shot to play off the front foot, push it for single to shot mid wicket. The over completes 11 overs completed, 74 on the loss of 1 wicket, 42 runs required in 54 deliveries.
It seems like the batsman is asking for some drinks here. I think Patiala Shahi right now is in a very strong position where um, they are cruising through the target. They just need 42 runs of 9 overs with 9 wickets in hand. If I have to put my money on it right now, it would be for Patiala Shahi. Patiala Shahi is in strong position right now. Change
No
in bowling.
brainer, unless something, a messiah, comes down from the sky for Sonu Battalion.
We have seen so many strange things happens in cricket, so definitely agree with you that it's not over till it's over. I think they are. The captain is still showing some faith in Gary. He's coming on with his third over. I'm still not sure with the tactics here. They should be going for the wickets, and they should bring in their best bowler for tonight. I am not sure if saving one over towards the end is going to help them with this.
Simmer needs that repayment in faith because he's proven out to be those one of those bowlers. Dances down the track, cries of catches, false shot, measured shot, calculated shot. He knew where the field was exactly. And Simmer being one of those bowlers that has repaid his captain with his excellent bowling, I think he deserves one more over, irrespective of you me saying the team strategy is an that will count.
I hope the captain listens to us and bring on their best bowler for tonight. Otherwise, Patiala Shai is just going to step down the throttle and just achieve this target. It's an amazing shot towards the long on for a single. Just a
Sweetly
shot was hit
timed.
with a lot of power, sweetly timed. Again, I sometimes I have to question these tactics by the captains. Definitely something may be going on with the strategy, but I'm not sure if Simmer is not fit or something to bowl the last over. Otherwise, I don't see any reason for not bringing him back to break the partnership. And it's amazing short ball and pulled amazingly by Ali Nadeem. If you are going to bowl short, you cannot give him that much amount of time and room because he is going to hit those balls for four every single day.
If away from the stumps, bread and butter shot, he got into position quickly, and what he had to do is just swing his arms fully. This time goes big. The fielder becomes the spectator. The ball swirls away from him and scores 4 more runs towards the extra cover region. What a sumptuous shot this is. Ali Nadeem has started to race. His race has begun to score more than the balls he's faced.
As we were talking before as well, I told you I don't think so. This is a great move by the captain to bring him for his third over. He has been very expensive,
One
and they're playing him with very ease. I think this was a gift given by the Sonu Battalion to Ali Nadeem. That and if you see, he has already scored 2 boundaries of this over and 12 runs so far. I think that's the end of the over. Patiala Shahi in very strong position with 86 at the end of 12 overs.
30 required, and one more over, couple of overs as we proceed. They score run, they accumulate. It's just going to remain formalities pending.
I feel like it's just formality right now, and this there is a team meeting that's been called by the captain. Everyone is discussing. I think feel like who should they give the next over to? Is it going to be Simmer? Is it going to be Raza? Or is it going to be Satnam? What do you
I think
think?
it's going. It's too late, and it's too late for to scratch the head right now. And I think what they can do here is just to take the game deep, irrespective of the bowler. Ali Nadeem has freed his arms and just waiting for Ravi Sandhu to free his arms and get into position and give those smacking hits.
I think they played very sensibly today. They didn't try to smack all the balls, or didn't try to score boundary of every ball. With this sort of partnership, I think this is sort of the gameplay that they were lacking in the previous game when they played against the Brampton Royals, where they were trying to go all guns blazing and then found themselves short of at least 30 to 40 runs.
And a good learning lesson would be that Ali Nadeem proved out to be lucky with that delivery what Satnam bowled out. I think there was one delivery what required to bring back uh, the intellectuality into the batsman, saying that this is not how you play, and you want someone to be more responsible, a player of that caliber, high caliber, has got skill set, who's got potential. You want someone to play with maturity.
Yeah, I can totally say that today the kind of maturity Ali Nadeem has shown in this inning after giving that after getting that sort of luck on the bowl of Satnam, I think he has shown a lot of maturity today. He I think he wants to take his team and he wants to see his team cross the line. We were talking about how his strike rate was under 100 at a point in time, but right now he's going around like 120, 130 strike rate, scoring 41 of 32 balls.
And you're just one innings away. The ball skies up, goes high. It's not going to be easy to pick that white
Oh,
spot in the night sky. It's been put down.
the
It's
fielder
not
was
easy.
Harkamal. I think it's hard to pick that white ball on the lights. He's an amazing fielder. I've seen some great catches by Harkamal Sandhu. I think this is one of those nights where nothing is going right for you or your team.
And you remain in a dilemma to put your hands. You remain in a dilemma to put your hands in this cold weather because it's going to hurt badly and you'll feel the bruises and pain in the morning.
Another misfield by Simmer here. The batsman played along the ground. Could have been a dot ball, but I think the kind of situation right now, Sonu Battalion is the morale is down, the body language is down, and feels like they have already dropped their shoulders. And it's an amazing shot, but straight to the fielder. I think the way we were talking about, probably bringing on their best bowler for tonight. I think it's too late for them right now to make any changes. But the game is already gone from their reach.
The game's almost done and dusted.
Just need 27 runs of 7 overs with 9 wickets in hand. It's just a formality right now.
And do you think would it be a right call for the batsman to go behind one of those bowlers and just try something fancy, take their chances, finish off in quick time?
I feel like they should try and finish the game now. They shouldn't leave it for any other batsman, because it's not going to be easy for a new batsman to come in and start uh, working through it. But they have already put in a lot of hard work during this inning. They have played some calculated shots, and I think it should be their glory to bring it home now.
I think
Again,
they're just a couple of runs away to cross the winning line and bounce back.
Again,
He's bowled well.
strange tactics. They're still persisting with Gary here, who's been very expensive tonight
Three
by
overs
giving
and
away
he's gone for
29 runs
29.
in 3 overs, so almost a 10 run rate. What do you think about this strategy here?
Unsure, and they would want at least the captain might know that they are far away from the game, or else he would want to blow some confidence into the bowler's head that I still trust you, because it's important that just having that bad day and not showing that faith into your bowler, it gives the bowler a slight fissure, saying that there's a crack, maybe there's something that I want to look upon. Or again, I would say that the sanity would be that if your key bowler, your prominent bowler is being taken after, what you can do is that you can give him some rest, and when that dangerous batsman's gone, I think you can bring him back again. This
That's an
time goes,
amazing
frees
shot.
his arms, no man's land, and he'll save his legs for a shot like that. Absolutely brilliant.
He's 4 short of his 50 for the season. I think Ali Nadeem is now seeing a ball like a football. He's all set, and he is definitely not going to leave this for any other batsman. He's going to finish this game off for Patiala Shahi,
And if he plays like this, couple of more shots, I think we are going to go home soon.
and that is I'm very actively looking for.
Not in this weather, not a favorable weather condition to be. Goes down on one knee, away from the fielder. What he'll do is just running around the boundary fence, collect it, and throw it back while they collect 2 more runs to add on to the total. Just
As
two
I
shot.
was, yeah, as I was saying before as well, string tactics. I really don't understand the use of or persisting with Gary, who has been very expensive tonight. Um, Definitely, he has a lot of skills, but sometimes
Goes
it's
on. How big is that? How big is that? Two fielders converging. Cuts on. Takes one. That mystery is going to be answered only by the captain of Sonu Battalion. You and me, for me and you, it still remains a mystery.
100%. And I feel like the game is long gone. Just need 19 runs off 6 overs. It should be walk in the park for Patiala Shahi right now. I think they should just say, "You guys take the game. Let's go home."
I don't know if declaring of the innings is possible.
Amazing cut shot by Ravi Sandhu, given a short ball outside of the off stump, and he pounced on it and converted that ball to a boundary. What an amazing shot that was.
Something extraordinary. He stood tall on the shot, and not everyone who can stand tall and hit you along the line towards extra cover. Not many. That shows your potential and your talent.
It's definitely a very tough shot to play against that sort of a delivery. But again, if you see the last over from Gary, again costed them around 12 runs. So he ended up
41.
around 40 runs uh, in his 4 overs. ਉਹ ਭਰਾਵਾ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਓਏ ਠੰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ I think, and with this boundary, Patiala Shai has scored their 100 runs. It's 101 for 1 at the end of 14 overs. Patiala Shahi only needs now 15 runs.
One-run shot for Ali Nadeem to complete his half mark.
I think the change in bowling again. They are bringing someone new to bowl. Aman, Piyush. New bowler coming in, Piyush. He bowls slow off spin, try to vary his pace, but I think it's too late now.
15, Ravi Sandhu, 8 shot, and Ali Nadeem, 1 shot. I would say just 3 big hits away and
We might see
4
those in this over.
boundaries. Katsawe will have to wait to get to his half century.
He's played. I think he has paced his inning pretty good today. He was under pressure in the beginning. Bowlers asked a lot of questions, but I think he came on top.
There was a subtle way. Goes big. How big is that? Extra covers. Fielder in place. And 50 complete for Ali Nadeem. What an exciting player he's been. Just one thumbs up, and he knows that the game hasn't been completed. Not the way he would have wanted to moderate his innings, but definitely one of those innings that he would have wanted to get back his form back in T20 BDCL nights.
Another ball. Ravi Sandhu faces off the pads.
Fashionable. Fashionable reminds me of the Natraj shot Chris Gale and Kapil Dev used to play.
I think it's the time for Ravi Sandhu now to score his maiden century, half century. I beg your pardon, half century for the season. I think these innings will give them a lot of confidence going into the competition, as this is the third game, and if they finish off this game from here on, that is going to give them immense confidence, and as well as to their captain, who took the defeat last time from Brampton Royals, and probably they might have asked each other a lot of questions. But I feel like having faith in your players and in their talent is something that every player seek from their captain and from their management, and I think that's what's being paid off today.
Definitely, yes. I 101% agree to your point.
Those are some
And
good soccer skills by Raza.
the question would be their upper order right now, if they are proving out to be consistent, would be a sign of worry for the lower order as well and the middle order, because they haven't tested their middle order. So, how fair do you think would it be for the middle order and just for the key players and the known names to perform?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I mean, as you know, cricket is 11 players game. You can't just depend on one or two players to win you all the games. It is a complete team game where each and every individual's contribution is important. So when the middle order is not tested, and I'm pretty sure they will be tested during some tough phases during the competition. This is a long league. You're gonna have at least 12 more games to go. So during some point in time, everyone will be tested, and that's where the true test of their potential will come into place. And I hope they will be able to showcase their talent and win some games for Patiala Shahi.
And I think this is the time where you want to go out and notch those valuable runs and see that, in the early stage of the game, because there's no turning back when you are halfway across the league games.
Yeah, white ball. I
He'll have to bowl that again.
think again change tactics. They brought back their number one bowler, which is Buljinder, who started this inning. He's also known as Vicky Judge. And it's an amazing shot. Fall short of Simmer.
There's a change of stance from Ravi Sandhu, probably looking towards his fine leg. Wants to go, pulls off, he's played that into the gap. The fielder trying to chase and cut the ball. Will he get in time? Will be a question. And fifth. One shot, one shot, one shot.
एक कपिया.
And Ravi Sandhu batting of 49, one shot and 4 runs to complete. Will he complete the innings in fashion? And will Patiala Shahi
That's a slap
smacks
of a
hard?
shot.
And 50 comes up for Ravi Sandhu.
That's an amazing inning paced by both the batsmen here. I think credit should be given where it's due. Only 3 runs needed now for Patiala Shahi.
3 deliveries pending.
Do you think they should be able to finish it off in this over?
I hope so. If there's no party spoiler here.
Vicky just must be thinking that the game is done, but he would like to get one or two wickets under his belt. Easy single for Ali. He has been playing very confidently throughout the night, and the game is done. Seems like we were behind 2 runs, and the game is done. Patiala Shahi successfully chased the target of 115. The
This has
scorer
been a
is going to
cakewalk for the
update that.
team and has been amazing to have you in there here alongside with me in the com box.
It was a
Amazing.
pleasure, Abdul, and I hope next time we do this, there are better conditions. We are not shivering in
Hopefully.
this cold.
Fingers crossed.
All
See
right.
ya, guys. Thank you, our live viewers. Thank you for joining us. If you want more updates, you can join official Patiala Shahi Cricket Club on Facebook and Instagram, and do definitely join us and let us know with your valuable comments on the live feed. What do you feel about the club, the games? And it's valuable, and trust me, it will be taken into consideration. Thank you. That's all for tonight. Have a good night.
Have a good night.